Yeah, so first off, let's dive into the publishing. Behind you, you've got a business called Painting Biz Publishing, and you've got it on your shirt as well.
I do.
But tell me, how did you get into publishing?
Over the years, I've helped a lot of painters start their business, solve their business problems, and I thought, what about writing a book? And then because people kept saying, well, you should write a book. You should write a book. And I'm like, okay.
You have all the answers.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to write a book. So I worked on it for about 3 years, and little bits at a time, bits and pieces here and there. And then I attended a Painters Contractors Association event in Florida, and that kind of inspired me to finish it. So I spent the next 6 months working on it very hard and finished the book. So Paint Smart, Not Hard.
That was this book. That was, yeah. Okay.
So that's what I finished. And it basically encompasses all the experiences I had in the over almost 2 decades of painting, in terms of marketing failures, equipment failures, different things that didn't work. And I was trying to explain that to painters so they don't fall into the same pain points that I was into. So it helps them to save them money.
I was going to say,
but not going down those roads.
Exactly. I was going to say, this will, number one, save them money and get them to point A to point B a heck of a lot faster.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of that book. And then once I figured out how to publish that book and get it going, I thought, well, I could do more things, because I was already online and answering questions for people that, there's various painters chat areas on Facebook, and novice painters ask questions. And so I started saving a lot of those questions, and I think I'd like to really in-depthly answer those. And that turned into this book, which was Pro Painter Q&A. So it's got over 80 questions answered, and it covers a variety of topics from employees to marketing to starting to dealing with clients. It covers a whole variety of areas. So
you know what I love about this is the fact that some people want to write a book for the sake of writing a book, but the real point of writing a book is one that someone's going to read, right?
Yeah.
So, and you got all the questions that were asked to you and then provided the answers. So to me, that is such a powerful tool.
And it was my favorite thing to do. This was my favorite book to write. Because I got to answer a lot of it, because I love to do that. I just love to help painters solve their problems.
I also know you, and you are just, you've been on the board for longer than I know, because longer than I had been, a board member.
A few years.
Yeah, a few years to say the least, but you've always been someone helping a member, calling a member first. You're helping, whether it's a member, someone in the community, or your own clients, right? That's in your blood.
Yep, and that's the way we've just sort of looked at things over the years. So, yeah, so it's been a pleasure to help painters with this kind of stuff, and that's where all these books ended up coming from. Just sort of quick inspirations on, hey, I should teach painters how to do this. I should teach painters how to do that.
Well, working in the building world, the one that also got me was about estimating, because I think that I don't even know if you have to necessarily be a painter because even builders, sometimes new builders, don't necessarily know how to estimate a project. And you were talking about different things to consider in your estimations, not just the materials and the time. And
which is what everybody's pitfall. So that one was the biggest thing, and it happens to be the biggest seller. When you're working for a painter and he's teaching you how to cut in walls and how to roll things, he's not teaching you how to estimate. He's not teaching you the business side of things. They just don't do that. So that's where this book comes in, because it basically gives painters, or basically anybody in any trade, what to consider when you're putting an estimate together, and how to structure it so you're going to make money and not lose money, because that's their biggest failure, and that's probably why it's the biggest seller, because that's the number one thing that people want to know. And it does happen more frequently than you think, unless you take all the factors that should be taken into consideration.
You've done this for the greater good of all of your fellow painters, your fellow
I don't make an awful lot of money on this, but it basically is just to help them build their business and go forward scaling properly without a lot of pitfalls. They get to success faster.
The end result of that too is that you had a piece of that helping them too.
Yeah.
Which there's something it feels good.
Yeah. It's like making my mark on the industry.
Exactly. So all of these books are available on Amazon. So how would I find them? If I would I look for paint?
No, just me. If you go to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca and just type in Jeff Lockwood, and then this whole gamut of books will come up.
Perfect. He couldn't make it any easier for you. So type in Jeff Lockwood. We'll put that on the screen for you right now on Amazon. So these are all available there, and you can do your research online.